friend Mandy Jones. They'll be talking, laughing, shouting, and shaking their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wide as it can be, with no apology. 7:30 Wednesday night, they're on the air, Wildflowers. And you know you'll love the show on Facebook Live, Wildflowers. Bonnie Scalisi and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is...
Hi, I'm Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everyone?
This is the 31st episode of this show, and this is April 7th, 2021. Bonnie, you want to tell them what the topic is tonight?
The topic tonight is ghosts, which I'm sure is going to lead to other things. But yeah, it's inspired by our guest, who we're going to tell you who that is in a minute. And
because she kills.
She kills in comedy. She doesn't kill in real life. But yes, well, the show is about ghosts, and so we're gonna be talking, and that will lead to other areas of topics of conversation.
Yeah, so get your ghost stories ready, guys. Have your bones ever been shook by the dead?
Yeah, I mean, you're a symbol for Calamity Jones is a skull.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
To the bone. We got the Colonel.
Hi, David Lange. How are you? So we are. We had a great weekend. Not during the weekend. During the week, we had a surprise comedy show on April 1st, April Fool's Day, and it was all Mandy's idea. And I'm going to let Mandy talk about it.
Well, I got to give some credit to my husband there, the one that we always say, is the reason me and Bonnie have all this wonderful equipment and know how to use it, because he set us up and then left us to figure it out. No, but on April Fool's Day, because comedy came back on Friday, comedy was legalized, comedy clubs opened back up, we decided to do one last hurrah of, this like virtual stuff. I think people are still probably going to keep a distance for a little while. So I think we're probably going to still be doing little VIP stuff over, I think once it gets warm. I plan on, trying to throw more stuff together like that, because, we want to make people laugh. And how to get stage time? Build a stage. If you build it, they will come.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Yes, but I had such a blast, and there was a party first, and then the show, and then the party continued after, and it was a great time. I had a wonderful time. So we only have a couple of people tuning in right now, so I just want to say hi to them. Hi, Christy Ann. How are you? Our pal Jim Ray is watching. He was saying, is this the episode where you two kiss?
Which is it, Jim.
Jim. And he said, Mandy did marry well. Her hubby is a good guy, and I hate everyone.
I know, Jim, you did an Irish goodbye. You left.
Yeah, you just disappeared, Jim.
Came bearing gifts and left.
Yeah, but I know he probably didn't want to interrupt the show. So
no, we do appreciate that.
I get it.
Better than making a scene.
But we did miss you after the party, Jim. It's like, but I know he has to get up and do. He has lots of responsibilities. He's got his work and everything. Yeah. So, do you want to get to our guest?
Yeah, I think she's got a lot to say. I feel like we should get her on here.
Absolutely. So our guest, she's a friend of mine, and she's a psychic medium, a divine femedium, Kristen Tinsley.
Woo!
Woo!
Hello, ladies.
I like your
You like my crystal ball?
yeah, it looks like
It's very phallic.
What is
It is very phallic. I feel like one of you may want a reading. I think it's you, the little one.
Oh,
over
God.
here, the little
God
one.
help yourself.
Let's take a look at your future, shall we?
My future is going nowhere fast.
If you guys have any questions for the Divine Comedian tarot reading here,
Yeah, if you
let
want to know
us
your
know.
future. But by the way,
What
what
do you
does
got?
what does femedium mean?
Femedian stands for divine feminine, medium, and comedian.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I see in your future, Miss Bonnie, that you want to know if the next man you're going to date has a big one.
Oh.
Oh, yes, a big
I didn't
one.
need a
Let's
deck.
see.
I didn't
Does
think we
he?
needed a deck. Well, I don't know about the next
A
man.
deck
I
of
think
cards,
the-
a deck of cards.
But I think the tarot kind of works both ways. Once you lay them out, we kind of figure it out. It goes back and forth. So if you see a big one, she might already have
A
one.
big one. She might already have one, yes. Queen of Cups. Oh, you cry a lot. Oh, you cry a lot. Queen of Cups, you cry a lot.
I don't really cry a lot.
Very emotional woman here, yes. Oh, yes, Four of Wands. Your mate does have a big one. Oh, yes, I see that for you in your future. A big one and very rich, too. Oh, very rich.
Yeah, I think that's
I
one
think-
you already got.
I think I already have
Maybe
that.
I'll keep that one for myself. Ooh,
I mean-
Five of Wands. Oh, very, very big. Five of Wands.
Wow,
But
well endowed.
ooh, oh, but Eight of Cups. It looks like he's walking away from you towards me.
Well, Christiane is watching. Maybe she wants her cards read. Bill,
Oh, geez.
Bill
Yeah,
Hansen.
maybe.
Bill Hansen, how are you?
I just dropped one of them.
And Jim Reyes says, Kristen, do the cards say if they will kiss each other in the future?
Oh, actually, you know what? That's not this deck, but let's pull from the Romance Angels deck and we'll see what's going on. Let's pull a Romance Angel card on Mandy and Bonnie's relationship.
Hi,
real quick.
Cedric
yeah.
Hooks.
So will Bonnie and Mandy
Cedric.
ever kiss? Let's see.
Oh, Christiane wants her
Oh,
thing
he
read.
made it and he misses you ladies. Very sweet of you, Cedric. We got
Yeah, hi, Cedric.
Worth waiting for. Divine timing.
Oh.
It's at work in your love life. So you're going to have to wait a little bit more to see if Bonnie and Mandy are going to kiss.
Oh, Jennifer's watching from Coasters.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jennifer. I forgot to say at the very beginning, so I hope it, if you don't mind me interrupting
Oh,
for a
no,
second.
don't.
Jennifer Valentini and I and Will Romero, this Monday, I believe is the 12th, we are having a pop-up open mic. It's not going to be every Monday.
Why not?
I'm
need to
not quite
practice
sure.
shit.
I'm confused, but if you want to practice your craft in stand-up comedy, Will Romero, Jennifer Lantini, and I will be at Coasters in East Meadow. 7:30 sign up, 8:00 start, and we're calling it the Jutino open mic because I'm Jewish and Will is Latino. So come and
Yes,
join
fuck
us
he
at
is.
Coasters. So Christiane's saying, I need some reading of my future.
Can you zero in on her? and
Hey,
pull a
Jennifer.
card or two
All right,
for
I'll
her,
pull
Chris?
3 cards for you,
All
Christiane.
right, Christiane.
What do you want to know, bitch?
Oh, Madame.
What do you
Can
want
you
to know?
hone us in on your question?
Oh, you want to know about your future? Okay, your future. Christiane's future. What is in the
Will
future
I
for
ever get a
Christiane?
night with Nicki Minaj?
Oh my
Come
God.
on, cards work for me. You know, my husband likes Nicki Minaj too, Cedric. I see you guys have the same taste.
Okay, so here's what we have for
Me and
Christy.
Nicki Minaj.
Here's what we have for
I
Christiane.
say yes, Cedric. You will get one.
Christiane, right now you are in a state of juggling your emotions and your practical life. And why is that? Because we have the 3 of Cups over here. So it seems like you're spending a lot of time partying with your friends, possibly,
Oh. Get off
and
this
not
podcast,
really
get
so
your head
much,
back in the book.
exactly, and not really so much focusing on marriage because you have the Hierophant in reverse.
Ooh.
So you need to balance out the partying and balancing out the practicality of your life so that this Hierophant card can be flipped upside down because you need to stop fighting the establishment and get with the program.
Oh, fighting the establishment. What do the other cards say for
Well,
her?
I have the 4 of Cups here. Okay, that fell on the floor.
That meant big dick for Michael, right?
Now, the 4 of Cups is somebody that's ignoring. So there could be somebody that's in your life right now that's trying to offer you this cup of love. And right now you're just ignoring it and focusing on the other attachments that you've had in your life that you've, probably lost or broken up or whatever it was. And the divine is like, here, I have somebody over here for you. And you're kind of like, I don't want that because you're focusing too much on your friends.
And I feel like that actually happens a lot. Like you
It
like
does.
pine for, someone, even if it's a friend and you go, oh, I want to talk to them, but they're busy right now. And then you have
Right.
another friend that's texting you and you're like ignoring the text. Like,
Right.
You take you
always
take
want-
things for granted.
Exactly.
You take things for granted. You hang out with your friends too much, and you're kind of like not. If you want love in your life, what your future is, then you need to focus on it.
Oh.
Because after all, deception.
Oh.
Somebody within your circle is wearing a false mask, honey. You better be careful with that shit, okay? But on the bottom of the deck, we have wedding. This situation involves marriage. So,
That card ain't for me.
well, I'm just telling you, that's what it is,
That's
girl.
for Christiane.
That's what it
Christine,
is.
you
I'll
got
give that
what's
one for
going
you.
on there.
Yeah.
Hi, Joan Krupe Asher. Jennifer saying, Kristen, I love the setup. Meaning
Thank you.
this.
Oh, yes. This is my beautiful. This is not really a crystal ball. If you need to use a crystal ball, if you're a psychic medium, you're a freaking phony. There is nothing that a crystal ball could ever tell you. This is literally just my rose in a jar, and I think I had given one to Jen at some point. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is my beautiful Beauty and the Beast forever black rose.
That's what I was trying to get out before. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. My black rose.
Somebody
I love it.
had said, "Oh, you have to cover a crystal ball if you ever leave it." And the guy was like, "Oh, why? Because it's magic." She's like, "No, because it'll set your apartment on fire if it hits the light. It'll
Really?
act like a magnifying glass."
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, those things aren't actually made out of crystal. I mean, the ones
Well, I
that were
guess
made out
the
of
one
crystal
that this
a long time
person was
ago.
buying was actually like a real nice glass. So I
Yeah.
said, "Why? Because it's magic." No,
Well,
you'll fucking
yeah, you
burn
want
your
to cover
house
it
down.
because whatever is inside of it, I mean, there's all different types of devices that you could use to contact spirits if you're not spiritually gifted like myself. I am spiritually gifted.
So
but,
these are like they're like boosters.
they're like little boosters. Like some people use crystals, some people use spells, some people use like spirit boxes. You can use spirit boxes to communicate, but you have to be spiritually gifted in order to be able to hear it. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Now tell us what a spirit box is.
Spirit box is something that you can actually ask questions to, and it contains, from what I understand from my interpretation of it,
Okay.
it's something that you can kind of like sort of like speak into, and then you ask a question and you can hear the answer back.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to plug this right now. Comedian Mike Manza that I had on my show In Bed with Comics. He is a medium also. He is also part of Mobfi, MOBFI TV. Download the app, watch the content. In Bed with Comics is now on that network. Just going to plug that real quick.
Nice.
In June, we're going to start filming. I'm going to be a guest. He has a show called Investigating the Paranormal.
Ooh.
I'm going to be the first guest on there.
Oh
Cool.
my god!
Yep.
Congratulations!
Thank
That's
you.
Awesome.
So he's going to be using like, I forget what it's called, but it's like some sort of like an energy. I've never used it before, but it's like a barometer, I guess, where you could test energy.
You
to
were
see
laughing
it's around
so
it.
hard when Richard Schultes was doing that bit on the ghosts.
Yeah,
thing.
because it's true.
You were
'Cause it's
laughing
freaking
your
true.
ass off.
It really is true. 'Cause that's my life. And you could go into cemeteries. He actually has a spirit box, so you'll actually be able to see him do this. So we're going to start filming that
Cool.
in June. The show is really unique because every single show is going to have a different guest
okay.
talking about their experiences with the paranormal, investigating the paranormal, and he's actually a medium like myself. So we connected right away. And it was really, really cool. And that's going to be on Mobfi TV. Yeah.
That is so
Nice.
awesome.
You'll have to send us like all the links and how
Oh,
to get
I
to
will.
it. And
Definitely.
it's
We'll
available
share it.
And now
Yeah.
too
Said,
as well.
David Lange has a question for you,
Sure.
but Cedric Hook said something really sweet. He said, I would rather have coffee with Mandy and Bonnie because I know I would be laughing the whole time. I think Nikki would be as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Thank you, Cedric.
That's a good one.
Nikki would definitely put out. But yeah, thank you for that comment.
That is funny.
Yeah, just pleasantries with Bonnie and I. We'll take it.
And welcome Joan Krupe Asher and Tammy Welter. And David Lange's question, and my boyfriend, Michael Steven Spielberg. And David's question for you is, he's very interested to know how you got into tarot card reading and how long it took to feel confident doing the readings.
Okay. So I actually just picked up tarot cards. I've always had a deck of tarot cards around me. My mother used to do it when we were little.
Okay.
But I didn't exactly have a choice because Spirit was like, either you're going to do this and you're going to deliver these messages, or I'm just going to keep like making your life difficult for you. So I actually don't need the tarot cards to do readings. I just use it to focus my energy so that it can give me a more clear answer. Otherwise, it scares the shit out of people because, you just kind of want to put like a barrier between you and the tarot cards. How I got confident in doing it was by trusting my guides to tell me what they were trying to interpret. So the cards, they're just a deck of cards. There's just pictures on there of things, but they actually have a very deep meaning to them. Like all the numbers that are on the cards actually have a meaning. Like 2s, like 5s is all about change. 6 is about balance. 7 is the number of divine. There's all different levels of stages that a person goes through. What tarot, it tells you, it maps out your entire life for you, basically. And it tells you where you are in your path. And it also tells you what's blocking you from getting to what you want, depending on the question that you're answering, that you're asking me to answer for you. So that's what it's telling you. Tarot looks underneath the surface of what people don't recognize or what they're hiding. And as far as confidence goes, I'm still building up on the confidence. There's so many decks out there. There's a lot of different things that I like to play with. I just have this isn't my master deck. I never take my master deck out of the house ever. This is just my play thing. It glows in the dark. It's really cool. And then I have other different oracle decks that give me answers, but I'm still learning them. But I'm pretty confident. You can check out my YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Divine Comedian
definitely.
Tarot. You can check that out. You can get a reading. I have all the different signs. You can ask me to do specific types of reads for you. A lot of people want sex reads. A lot of people want to know if their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend is coming back.
I want to know if certain people of my exes will go bald. The tarot cards are telling everyone, share the show right now.
Yes, share
everybody,
the show.
please press the share button.
If you don't, you
right
will be cursed.
now, or you will be cursed forever into the next life.
It took me basically probably about like a month or two to actually get confident with the cards because I didn't understand it. But once you get into it, and not everyone can connect to tarot cards. Some people cannot read them. Some people will just follow the book and be like, oh, this is what this means. But you have to, yes, they do have a meaning, but you have to be able to interpret it to the person, deliver the message the right way. Otherwise, it's just, oh, 2 of Pentacles, you're juggling something. Well, what the fuck does that tell you?
Right. And like you had said, oh, juggling 2 things, which means it could be emotion. You said partying
Emotions,
versus more like a structured
There's an unequal
life.
balance of a structured life because you're partying too much and you're saying fuck you to the establishment. That's
where 2 people, and that's you could pull that card and read it differently to somebody else based on what they asked you and what you feel drawn to say. Because when you read my cards, because when she was promoting her page, I wanted you to read my cards, and I was literally like fire was coming off my pen because you were going, all right, this is the 9 of Wands and this is the 9, and then because you had told me your couple of words and interpretation of each. But then I was looking them up afterwards, what other people say each thing could mean. Because, there's symbols and letters and numbers, and everybody's brain works differently, and everyone's attracted to
right. Well,
different
each
things.
suit has its own thing. Like Pentacles is about practical things, material things, grounded things.
Okay, tangible.
Tangible things, right? Okay. Like the house, the car, the money, all of that. Wands
Speaking of the money, my boyfriend wanted to know, can you use any of these powers to give you an advantage in a casino?
No.
Because just
actually, I've never tried that, but I am very good at predicting numbers, but I can try that. But the Wands is like creativity, passion.
Okay.
Swords are about thoughts and strategic things. Water is about emotions. So, and we all have that. That's all the energy of the Magician card. So we all have all of those different elements within us. So depending on where you are in your life, like if I throw a card in 5 of Pentacles essentially means somebody who's of ill health, and if somebody who has a very poverty mindset, or somebody who is in poverty. Okay, but if that's in the reverse, it means that you're coming out of that energy. It's all about the way the energy is displayed and what card's next to it. That tells you, okay, is this an emotional thing? Is this a thought thing? Is it a block? It can get very, very complicated. And then there's this system, and then there's the thought system, which is Aleister Crowley's theory of it, which is like, it's sitting on my couch, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go down that path.
Bruno is welcome. Bruno is saying, Kristen, can you tell me if I will get a younger wife in my next life? Which gets us to the topic
your
of
next
ghosts.
life. In your
Ghosts.
next life,
Do you guys have any stories about ghosts? Have you ever worried about ghosts? But we're going to answer your question first, Bruno.
And be a smoking hot little vixen. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
The Eight of Cups, you're on your way there, Bruno. What did I say? I said the fucking Eight of Cups is going to come out, and it did.
So what is Eight of Cups?
The Eight of Cups is somebody who's walking away from their emotions to try to find, they're leaving behind things, their past, things that they emotionally invested in and moving more towards.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have a more superficial marriage in your next
But then we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which is the young, stable, solid, beautiful, single woman. So, sorry, Bruno. No. But that doesn't mean that. Tarot doesn't really answer those types of questions. But, hey, listen,
so,
the afterlife, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question about the tarots? What's the difference between like a tarot reading and a fortune teller? Like, is there a difference? Or is
I mean, fortune teller is just another word for it. A fortune teller is someone who's going to tell you about your abundance in life. Someone who's going to tell you about, your good luck that's coming to you, your fortune, what's coming to you. But they're also going to tell you like the bad things that are coming also, your bad fortune. That would be the Wheel of Fortune card in tarot that would tell you that. But it's all basically the same thing. Fortune teller, psychic, tarot reader. Medium is in a different class, totally different class. Medium is someone that can communicate with the dead.
Bruno goes, damn.
Sorry, Bruno. You might turn out to be a hot, sexy, single woman in your next life, and then you gotta, fend off all those wands.
You never know. So, do you guys have any questions, or have you ever had any experiences with ghosts or fortune tellers? I had my best friend. She really believes in. I don't know if the word is fortune tellers, but somebody who tells you about your future. Yeah. She has one that she pays a lot of money for that she goes to periodically. But a long time ago, she took me to this one in a big auditorium.
Okay.
And I brought my friend, and my friend brought a picture of her son with her. Mm-hmm. And we got up on stage, and my friend had, she saw the picture of my friend's son, and this is the person that was the I don't know whatever her title was. She was very well known.
Sylvia Brown.
No.
It wasn't Sylvia?
No. It was so long ago, honestly, I don't remember. But she kept saying, about her son, that her son is happy where he is, and he's passed on, and he's doing well, he's at peace, and you should know he's at peace. And it turns out her son is not dead. He's just autistic. So, like, we caught her, so then she tried to backpedal.
Yeah, no.
And, so I believe there are, but this other person that she went to, that she paid a lot of money for, that you have to, wait months for an appointment for, told her everything spot on, things that she wouldn't.
Things that you don't know.
No one would know,
right?
Unless you knew her.
Right.
So, there are some wonderful ones, and there are some people.
You're right. Let me explain something. Like your mother, when I read for your mother, I knew her dead cat's name. I knew where your uncle was buried. How would I know that?
Yeah,
that's not stuff that you would not know.
Know that?
Right. That's how you know. So when you communicate with someone that's crossed over, they show you pictures. Okay. It's not necessary. I'll hear something, not hear it, but it's just like this thought that'll come into my head.
Okay.
And I'll just say it really quick. I can't control what comes out of my mouth. I have no choice but to say this. If I'm getting a name, or if I'm getting a date or a month, they're just confirming that that's the person that you're talking to. Because you're not actually really talking to a person, you're communicating with energy. When someone dies, depending on the level of their soul that they've been for however long, okay? Because you got to understand something. When you die, now this is something a lot of people don't want to hear. When you die, a lot of people don't know that they're dead.
It's like that movie with Bruce Willis.
Right.
They don't
know that they're dead. The movie Ghost is probably the closest thing that I could say of being reality, where that guy was trying to teach him how to focus his energy to move things. That takes a long time. It also takes a long time for somebody to actually be able to communicate with the dead, because there's different levels. You have people that just stay in the ethers, and then they move up, to become spirit guides or angels, and you have a choice. You want to be someone's spirit guide? Do you want to, take a break from being a human being? Do you want to maybe
like
be
the
an
little
animal?
boy, the little boy in that movie.
Right.
Everybody thought he was crazy because he could see the dead people.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie?
That's The Sixth Sense.
The
right?
Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense,
you.
yeah.
By the way, Stevie GB is watching. Hi, Stevie GB. How are
Well,
you?
the Sixth Sense was a very interesting movie.
I love The
because
Sixth
he could
Sense.
right, but that's how my life is. If you don't, I feel horrible for people that have to do that. If you don't communicate these messages, and you don't, he was actually like having to communicate a message to tell people the truth. If you don't do that, your life will be miserable because you're here for a purpose and you have to do it. And I suppressed it for a very long time. I knew that I could do this as a teenager. It started coming after a good friend of mine passed away, and I started having dreams about him. And as I got older, that kind of stopped, and I'm glad that it did, because I didn't, when I would fall asleep and I would dream, I would actually walk in the land of the dead, like that movie Insidious, where you could actually leave your body and you can go to the land of the dead. And I knew that they were dead. You can always tell if someone's dead in a dream when you look at their eyes. Their eyes are very different from just like a regular human being. And they don't talk to you, they don't ever. But if I go too far, there's always this really big, tall, sexy guy with like, I swear to God,
Ooh.
with like long hair that always comes and gives me a big hug, and he just feels so good. And he brings me back to the light, always. And then there's also something else.
God is sexy.
Right. He really is. I'm telling you, it's Pete Steele. I know it is. And then it's like, and then there's this other thing that's there that sometimes is very scary, that chases me around, and I'm very afraid. I've never seen it. But like when I turn around, I feel like if I'm going to turn around, it's just something really horrible. And I'm like, fuck, please God. Like, I don't want to find out what this is, But I knew that I could do this, as a teenager, when I had a friend of mine pass away, and he came to me in a dream, and I heard him knock on the door. I got up out of bed. The fan was blowing. I could see my mother sleeping. I answered the door, and he started screaming at me because I was a senior in high school and I was being late for school. I was just fucking up everywhere. And he started screaming at me, but he wasn't physically talking to me. I could hear him in my head. And
Weird.
I was like, whoa. And then
But
after
you
that,
didn't see a vision of him? You just heard his voice?
No, he was standing in front of me clear as day.
Okay, but you
Clear as day. But I knew.
That's something.
His mouth was moving, but I could only hear him inside my head. And I was like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And he was like, yes, you can.
And it's almost like what you would know, like, because a lot of times people say, like, I know my mother would be proud of me. I know my father would be proud of me.
Of course.
Because you
right,
know what
that's
they
simple
would want
things.
for you.
Right. But there's some things that they can tell you that only you would know.
Right.
It's not like having a conversation
Yeah.
with them, like, hey, what's up? Like, how are you? It doesn't work that way.
No, because the people that are like, oh, like, do you know a Frank or somebody with a letter F, or like they just keep fishing until finally like oh yeah, like my second cousin removed has a cousin Frank.
No,
like that kind of.
Yeah.
But we do have our first ghost story from Tammy Welter. She said, when I worked at this one place, I saw this huge tall guy, not fat, just very tall. I asked my boss, who was that tall guy that walked in? I described him to my boss, and she cried and said, that's my dad who passed years ago. I've seen 2 people and 2 kids where I live now. Wow, so maybe you have this too, Tammy.
Yeah.
Well,
everyone has it. It just depends on when you wake up. A lot of people, because of the, the conjunction, a lot of people are waking up and being called to use their gifts now. There's also a lot of psychic mediums that have been alive for a very long time that are dying off, because this doesn't last forever. You're not going to find like a 90-year-old psychic medium. Eventually, you're going to lose your mind, when you start fading out. So there are a lot of people that are waking up now. Children are waking up. I see a lot of young tarot readers on YouTube, very good young tarot readers.
Maybe the people that they thought were the kids that they thought were schizophrenics were really seeing spirits.
Yeah, and I will tell you, there's a lot of
Right,
people who are alcoholics and drug addicts, and people that have mental problems, because that's how it's manifesting. Because they don't want to deal with what they're seeing, so they try to they try to mellow it down, because I didn't fully experience this until years later, because when I would smoke marijuana, it would shut it off. and then it would numb it, right? Because it's like you're not even conscious. You're not even conscious of it, right? You're not even conscious that you're doing it. And when I first started reading tarot, as soon as I would get done, I would have to eat, and I'm like, oh, we're not going down this road. But now when I read tarot, I get very hot. Like I will literally like experience hot flashes. It takes a lot of energy to do this, but I love it. I'm happy that I came out of my closet.
Michael's saying, my boyfriend's saying, is there an age that most people get the power, like puberty type of thing? I think it probably depends on like when. I think it would be an early age. You either know
it is
you
an
have
early
it or you
age.
don't
Yeah,
know it.
it is. It can be a very early age, but most children will see it. But then as they get older, it'll shut on and off. And then depending on, how their gift is being developed, it may come back later. They may shut it off. I mean, who knows? It really just depends. We all have this ability to do this because we all are part of the same energy field.
Does anyone else in your family have this kind of?
Yeah, pretty much everybody does.
Yeah, you said your mom was doing it.
My mom grew up in a haunted house actually in Queens.
Wow.
She grew up in a haunted house. That was the first time I ever saw
Were you
a
born
ghost.
yet?
No, I came later. I came in 1980. She was already gone from there. But that was the first time I ever saw a ghost. But she never talked about this. I only told her years and years later. I had gotten punished for something, and I was sitting in the living room in my grandmother's house, and usually when I'm concentrating and focused in like a total like meditative state, that's when I'll see them. And I saw this woman. I could still see her in my mind. She floated because the houses in Queens, Bayside, were connected. She floated from the house next door right through the living room, right past me. She had like a low bun. She had like a high neck dress, and it was like a polka dot type of pattern. And it was more of it was like a weird color, but like it was like smoke almost, but I saw her clear as day.
Wow.
And I said it to my mom years and years later. And she said, yeah, that's the woman that used to sit up on top of the stairs and sing to us. And I was like, are you kidding me? And that's what my mom told us, that because my mother does not sleep at night still to this day, because when she would sleep in the house, she would feel people watching her. And the basement of that house, when you would go downstairs, you were fine. But then trying to come up the stairs, you literally felt like there were millions of people watching you. That house is freaking creepy.
Oh my God.
Creepy. But when we were kids, she never really told us. But as we got older, she told us.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? That reminds me of another movie called the Amityville.
The Amityville Horror House is real.
Well, I drove by it. The difference between the movie and the reality of the house,
the actual story
is that the houses were really close together. When they filmed the movie, it made it seem like the house was on like all this land and had there was no one around.
Yeah, no.
And meanwhile, the houses were like very, very close together. So, but it was about somebody. I think a father went crazy and murdered the whole family.
No, it wasn't the father. It was okay. First of all. And I'm going to say this, and there is another psychic medium out there. There was a show on Sci-Fi. I don't remember the name. The Life of Me. This woman did work in the dark. So I don't know how long she lasted, but she was not afraid to walk on the dark side because there was a light side and a dark side. I only work within the light. But she did channel the sister. That was a mafia hit. That was not.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't he.
The
he
father
went crazy
used to bury bodies of whoever like the mafia would kill. He used to go to the cemeteries, dig up graves, and just throw random ass bodies in there.
Oh my God. So I think that's a more interesting story than the movie.
Exactly. Let's not believe that and they just happened to blame it on the son. He was not hearing voices. He was not, it was nothing like that. This poor man has been in jail, which is probably the safest place for him to be, for basically his entire life over something else. Something his father did. Had nothing to do with him. He just wasn't home.
I thought the story was that the kid killed the parents. That's not the true story.
No, I thought the story was. We'll have to all watch it again. I think
the movie is bullshit.
The movie, which I don't know if it's true or not.
His name's Robert DeFeo.
The father was played by James Brolin, and he was a loving father. And then they moved into this house. And he started going like crazy, losing his shit. No. And then he killed his wife and he killed his kids.
It wasn't.
And there was
it
all
wasn't
kinds.
the
Wait,
father,
before he
it was
did that,
it was
the house
son.
was haunted, and all kinds of things were happening.
wasn't.
Things were moving, flies were coming in.
Bullshit.
But I don't know.
It was all bullshit. It was all Hollywood bullshit. I mean, you could tell by they made like 15,000 movies and 15. I mean, it was much better when Ryan Reynolds played the father, and I was like, you can kill me anytime.
Oh, one of my Facebook friends, Raphael, is watching. He's saying, "Wow, we're talking about ghosts right now." Robin DeVito, she said she shared the show to Larry, her friend. Could everyone please share the show? Now, are we supposed to do our sponsors?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I just looked down. It was 8:05. Now it's 8:06.
My watch broke. So I don't know what time it is.
Do you want
me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
So our friend Key Fitz has a great business called Keys Loves Jewelry, and it's stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Keys cutlery, knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. You could shop online at keyslovesjewelry.com, keyscutlery.com, or you could go in person to Lala's Flea Market, 1075 Portion Road in Farmingville, New York. His phone number is 631-379-1781. And now it's Mandy.
And the other sponsor we have this week is the Ambient Salon in Hewlett. They're a full-service hair, skin, and nail salon. They participate in a Mondays a Racine salon, which means one Monday every month they give away free spa and salon services and free wigs to anyone currently battling cancer. So anyone currently battling cancer, free spa services, free salon services, and free wigs. Please check them out. Online booking available at theambientsalon.com. Go to the Ambient Salon on Instagram and Facebook to give them a like. The Ambient Salon at 1344 Broadway in Hewlett, New York, 11577, and their phone number is 516-295-4011. Tell them Bonnie and Mandy sent you, and anything we say can and should not be held against our sponsors.
Yeah, don't blame them for the stuff that comes out of our mouths. And Larry is watching. Larry Lane, Robin DeVito invited him. He says, great topic. Larry, she must have invited you for some reason. Do you know something about ghosts or something? Please share with us. We'd love to know.
Larry, are you alive?
Yes. And Bruno,
are there any dead people watching?
And Bruno is saying, please support these businesses that are supporting this great show. Yes. Please.
And I just want to say that Key Fitz is amazing.
I love Key.
He is actually sponsored my show tomorrow, Friday night. I do have
I'm
one
in.
free ticket. No, you're not. You're in the Saturday show. You're in the show with Key. But Key actually sponsored.
I'm in the 10th. I'm in the 10th.
You're on the 10th.
No.
You're not doing that show.
No, I don't do that.
Yes. But hit me
don't
up. I have
push
one
myself
free
in.
ticket courtesy of keyscutlery.com. He's amazing. But we're actually doing the show, a fundraiser show for my friend Melissa's daughter, Alyssa, who was hit by a car. We're having that at Coaster's Tavern.
And
on
she
Saturday.
has autism.
She does have autism. Yes, she was out
and
for a
then
walk.
she was hit by a car.
Yes, she suffered a severe brain injury. So a lot of comics got together. Saturday, Eli Velasquez is hosting both shows. Thank you, Eli, because I'm just like, I can't do this right now. He's going to host both of them. We have a lot. We have Devin Bramble. We have Key Fitz. We have Dr. Harry Friedman. We have Key Fitz. Did I say Key Fitz already? Yes.
Yes. Key's our
We have
sponsor.
Esther Forrester,
We love
Bonnie. We have a couple of these, Zach Manzi. We have a very couple few.
Is this the person who's Amanda? Is that the one whose show is for?
She's my friend. No.
Okay. So
no.
Amanda is saying her daughter had a skeleton friend named Johnson when we lived in Virginia. She told us about how Johnson and his friend Joseph had a fight in her room. That's true. A lot of kids have imaginary friends, but are they really imaginary?
I just got a really sick feeling in my stomach when you told me that.
Yeah.
He said that Joseph speaks in a perfect Irish brogue. So, like, what imaginary friend speaks in an Irish brogue? You know, that
I got
might
a
be
really
a ghost.
sick feeling in my stomach when you said that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't live there anymore, right?
She said Virginia was the gateway of the Irish indentured servants. Amanda, answer her question. Do you still live there? She said he was real.
No, I know he's real. I can feel that sick feeling in my stomach. Like, I can feel that, like, ugh feeling.
My friend's stepmother and her brother, when they were like kids, spoke French fluently to one another. And, like, people would be like, oh, they speak French. And the parents were like, no, like, we don't. But
Michael's asking a really cool question. Go ahead.
What's he got?
No, go ahead.
No, these kids randomly knew how to speak French, but their parents didn't know how to speak French, and other people could you know, say
right. Not all spirit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not all.
That shows
like,
it's not an imaginary friend.
Right.
Not
you know when
all
little kids make up languages like
no, they don't.
No, this was literally they spoke French, and they were like,
yeah, not all spirits
speak
speak English.
Now she, as an adult, she's like, can't speak a lick of French.
I can't
like,
speak.
I have no idea.
I cannot speak a word of Spanish, but sometimes there are spirits that do communicate with me in other languages, and I'm able to understand them.
Caliente.
Right, and I'm like, wow, okay. Right, so Michael asks, what is on the dark side, and can you choose to go there or not as a medium?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to know that too. That's cool.
What's on the dark side?
It's like the devil, right?
No.
You know?
Let me explain something to people so that they understand this. And this is going to be something that most people will not like to hear.
Uh-oh.
There's no such thing as the devil in underground and hellfire and brimstone with a pitchfork, okay? If you continuously surround yourself with dark, negative energy, that is what you will be drawn to, and that is what you will see when you die. Let me tell you something right now.
Oh, shit.
When you die, just if you ever walked on ice with no shoes on, that's what it feels like to die. If you've ever, to be dead, if you've ever been in bed and you get like those jolts, that's what it feels like forever, okay? You do not have a body anymore to ground you here. You do not have any way to contain your emotions of what you're seeing and what you're feeling. You no longer have a brain to process what you are seeing happening on this planet because you become a part of everything. Your senses, actually not really senses, but you're just a part of everything. You're part of this cup, you're a part of this flame, you're part of everything. So you spend quite a bit of time trying to find yourself something to ground yourself, something to hold on to. That's why like stuff like this, dolls, old clothes in closets, houses, certain objects that spirits can get themselves attached to. Now,
that reminds me of that other movie, Annabelle with the crazy doll.
But that's a true story, though.
Really?
That's real, though.
I just want to say
very real.
Hello to
Do you have a choice? No, you don't. If you live a horrible life with a lot of negative, dark energy, that's where you will stay. And trust and believe when I tell you that is not a place.
That's like karma, right?
That is absolute karma. That's
so Peter Najak is saying hello. We want to say hi to Peter.
Peter's on the show on Saturday at Coasters.
Nice.
Sell tickets.
Adam Snare is saying hello.
Hi,
He's
Adam.
going to be moving soon.
Adam.
Cedric Hook says he has a serious question for you, but he didn't write what the question is.
What's the question?
Cedric, what's the question?
Oh, this is good ass wine, bitch. What the fuck is this? Yellowtail Pink Moscato? We
have
gotta
some.
drink about it. I did. I sold the rest of my wine.
You could have some that's in my cup too. Cedric said he had a dream that fireballs were raining down on the earth and people were running. I just knelt down and the angel with wings flew down and took me up very quickly. So what's your take on that? I think it means, wait, can I just say something?
Yeah.
I never can sleep. So I always have insomnia. And I was flipping through the channels and you notice there haven't been a lot of zombie movies on lately.
Yeah.
I think they purposely took them off.
They don't want to trigger out anybody.
Yeah. So I stumbled on, I think it was the second one, Dawn of the Dead, with the shopping mall.
Yeah.
And I just was watching that movie and I was like thinking to myself, with everything that happened with the pandemic, like this is so easy to see how this could happen. And they put it on really late. It started at, I think it was
they used to play zombie movies all the time. That's all they had.
It's till 6 a.m. and like I was just drawn to it and I'm like, holy crap, because you could easily see, like before you're like, yeah, come on, but after the pandemic,
and that's what I thought was going to happen.
Scary.
But to answer that question about the fireball, let me tell you, that's just your spirit guys' ways of saying that whatever is crushing you at the time, because there may have been some sort of experience that you were experiencing at the time, some sort of a trauma or some sort of thought process that you were thinking about, and that was your guides telling you, we got you. Like your angel guides have your back constantly. All you have to do is ask them for help. Otherwise, they just sit there waiting.
Okay. So Jennifer said, what would you tell someone Jennifer Lentini, what would you tell someone that was scared of their gift? Because I'm sure you can help someone who needs to tune in to their gifts. If they can see. I do
meet quite a few people that are afraid of it, like my own sister. My own sister is like the cowardly lion. She's like, I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. That's what she's like, because my sister has the gift of actually seeing these things, the ghosts. Okay. And she's seen them, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, because I don't want to fucking see it. I don't want to see it. She goes crazy. But yet she's very much into the esoteric, very much into it. You don't be afraid of your gift. You have to embrace it, because it's called a gift for a reason. If you could know, if you're getting messages from spirit, wouldn't you rather know what you should be walking towards or what you should be walking away from? That's that intuition. That's the high priestess in tarot. That's the voice that's in between everything that tells you, hey, this is a good idea, or this is a bad idea, or go left, don't go right. That's that thing that saves you from catastrophe. So I always tell people, if you're afraid of it, you can shut it off. You can say,
like
I don't
the little
want this.
boy
You
was
can
doing
shut
in The
this
Sixth
off.
Sense.
Yeah, like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I want to shut this off. But look what happened to the little boy in The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
He didn't have a choice.
Right.
Whether or not he wanted to do that, because sometimes God will use you as an instrument. You don't have a choice. God has put you here for a reason, to do things. And if your purpose is to deliver messages to people and guide people from the darkness into the light, then you must follow that path.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. So,
I usually give people a teddy bear if they're afraid. Like, suck it up, cupcake. Join the party, okay? Trust me.
getting into the evil side of things.
Oh,
I was babysitting. Obviously I was a teenager, a million zillion years ago. And I was watching this movie. Maybe the audience will remember the name of the movie, because I don't remember the name of the movie. But it was about a babysitter who was in the house alone. She kept getting these calls. And he goes, have you checked the children?
Oh, yeah. That's an urban legend. Yeah.
And then the last call
The
was
babysitter.
the police. It was called the babysitter?
No, when a stranger calls.
When a
right?
stranger calls, yes.
That was it. That was it. And then the last thing was the phone calls coming from inside the house.
Mm.
So, like, what do you think of people who are like so dark that they're murdering other people? Like, what is going on with those people?
Those people, right? Those. I'm
This
convinced.
is Bonnie's way of asking.
Right,
No, not
evil
scream. What-
fucking-
Save her soul.
I have met certain individuals.
Can you feel their evilness?
Can
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel it? Yeah.
Yes, there are certain individuals here that are not human.
Here. Oh, like monsters.
Oh, Grass is
Not
watching.
not monsters, but there are people.
But
Somehow there are demonic entities. Like I said, about the ugliness.
You
and
think they're
about
born
the,
from human though? Like you
they're-
think you just can just be so immoral, but they're
Yeah, I
it's
think.
almost
okay.
like not being
Yeah,
Let
human.
is
me
it
tell you,
born, or is
right.
it, or is it bullshit that like you've been treated badly?
You have
You're-
to protect
maybe a little
your
bit
children.
of both.
No, you have to protect your children, because children are very vulnerable to possession.
Okay.
So a child can be born with a certain soul, depending on how new that soul is. But there are dark entities that do exist on this planet that have never had a human form.
Now, how do you get a soul with no mileage on it? How do you get
I
a
don't
brand
know.
new soul?
A brand new soul? I don't. I don't know. I don't.
We'd
have the
all
answer
like
that.
to know the answer
But
to
You
that.
also
there
said
are-
when tarot readers die. So is it like basketball players on a bench? Like, all right, died. Now somebody
Right now,
else's
somebody else
gift,
has
like-
to come in. Right now, somebody else's gift. Like I always compare it to like Twilight, like Jacob. Like when like something happens and they get that calling to transform into the wolf. That's basically what it's like.
Okay.
But there are dark entities on this earth that can possess another human being. And that's exactly what that is. And those dark entities, like the people that just commit the most ugly and vile things, trust and believe when they cross over, they keep manifesting into this darker and darker and ugly thing. And all they want is to come back and to have that human experience again. But their souls are not clean. They cannot ascend any higher. That's hell. They'll always try to find a human being.
So
There's some of them in the
Cedric
fucking
Hook
comments.
says, "I get a new soul
You
from
know what I'm
Tito's
talking
and
about.
cranberry." That's a good one. That's a good one, Cedric.
A new soul. You know what? That's a very interesting thing. I will have to ask my advisor on that. How you would get a new soul.
But
That's
go
very
back to the
interesting.
Annabelle doll, because I have
The Annabelle doll was possessed by a demonic. That woman, I pray for her soul, because what she saw in this life and what she was capable of doing, containing. She contained these entities within her own home and had the power to keep them from getting out. That is very strong power.
It's like Pandora's box almost.
Right. When people will ask me sometimes to go and to cleanse a house, I don't know what I'm up against.
You're right.
I could walk into someone's house and be like, whoa, like it's actually not the house, it's you, motherfucker. Like you have something attached to you that is very dark. Elaine had that gift where she was able to see those entities. That's what she worked with.
The girl who ended up becoming the Annabelle doll?
No, Elaine was the woman who contained it. The Annabelle doll is just...
So it's kind of just a vehicle for you to
right. That's
to
what I'm
grab
saying.
the shit and
for
put
the
it in.
for the spirit to be able to attach itself to any form. Doesn't matter what it is. You have a lot of dolls, stuffed animals. You know, if you have something, if you feel as if you're being haunted, you need to check. This is why I tell people, do not go to a garage sale and buy someone else's shit.
Ooh,
because you're taking, you don't know but you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, but you know,
but maybe you're getting the positive of people.
No, you're not.
No, I do actually like the thing that I have all my crystals in upstairs. It's like, it has like for 3 candles, and it's like a pure one fucking thing. But someone could have done some fucking shit.
Of course they could have. Never buy somebody else's mirror. If you see somebody's mirror outside, against a tree, that means that their house was cleansed from a demonic possession. There's a lot of things. There's always sleep with a glass of water by your bed.
I do that. I do that anyway.
Have to do that.
Just because
but
I'm
you
thirsty.
do that, right? But you do that. It's a form of protection.
I didn't even know that. I just happened to do it.
But see, there's certain things that you just know. You're just born with these with certain.
I also
things
sleep with a tissue by my bed.
Oh well.
Sorry,
that's a Jewish thing.
Dirty. Tammy Welter said, "I do have a creepy phone. One call to a friend. He said, what did you say?" That I said, "I didn't say anything." He goes, "Wow, I just heard the devil's numbers loud and clear." And another friend always asked me what I said. I go, "Nothing again." She heard it. So I don't hear anything, just creepy. So she's calling people on her phone, and her phone is
I'll tell you a scary story about a phone. I will tell you a scary story about a phone.
Yeah.
There was a phone in my friend's house, and it would ring all the time. And this was something that I was always in her house all the time. So this was something that would happen all the time. And the phone would ring, and I'd be like, "You're going to answer the phone?" And she would be like, "No, don't answer the phone." It was a rule in the house, do not answer that phone. It would ring all the time. Years later, cell phones, everything
must make
came
you crazy.
Through.
They shut the phone line down. They didn't have a house phone anymore.
Yeah.
The phone
landline
still fucking rang.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was only ever answered by one person, by the grandfather, and he never said who was on the other line. Who was on the other line? The phone still, to this day, still fucking rings.
I would take that phone and shove it into the ocean.
Jeez, possessed phone.
Raphael says Windex has alcohol. Well, that's true, but I don't know what that has to do with anything. Now, everyone, can you please share the show right now?
Yeah,
Press the share button, or you know what? The ghosts are gonna get you, and you're gonna have a phone that's gonna ring off the hook. It's not gonna stop. So share the show, and write down that you shared it, because we're gonna thank you personally if you shared the show.
Have I ever experienced death, Raphael? Yes, I have. I did die when I was 18. I was dead for probably 5-6 minutes.
Really? I didn't know that.
I went in for a procedure, and they didn't know that I had asthma or something. And when they intubated me, my lungs, there was fluid in my lungs because I was coughing and coughing and coughing. You know, I don't know why.
Oh my God.
And everything just shut down. And that was when the gift started getting stronger.
Wow.
A near-death experience is actually a blessing. There's a show on Netflix, you watch that. People that talk about that, near-death experiences, are like, I don't even want to be here. You have no idea what's on the other side. It's so comforting. It's you can see people.
Unless you go into the other side.
Unless you go into the other side. But that's a choice. Everybody has a choice. They think that the choice is made for them by somebody else. It's not. It's how you live your life. It's how you accomplish your goals and your karma. People always ask me, why are you still single? Why are you this? Why are you that? I'm waiting for my divine masculine, okay? Mm-hmm. There is one human being on this earth that I'm supposed to be with. Just one.
There's a lid for every pot.
Exactly. There's a lid for every pot.
Larry Lane said something very funny. He goes, "Don't pay that phone bill."
They never got a phone bill. That was the funniest thing.
It was free.
And to this day, like, they just don't talk about it. Like, and I'm like, do you guys remember when the phone, they're like, we're not talking about that. We're not going to discuss it. And I'm like, how could you not discuss this? Like, you could literally, like, we, because they don't want like every single like ghost person coming into the house to try to figure it out. But the grandfather would never, he took that to the grave. He never said what the person on the other end of the phone said. Never.
Oh, I would beat it out of him.
If you cut this line, I'll kill you.
Something. I mean, it must have been because he was
Keep
just like, I'm going to bed. Right. Like, I can't deal with that. But I mean, yeah, people understand when you go to see a psychic medium, they'll ask you, because sometimes they get names wrong. Like sometimes it'll be clear as day. Like the other day when I was at the show, I just kept hearing the name Violet. Sure enough, it was one of the comics that had his friend's mother that passed away. Her name is Violet. And I was like, okay.
What do you think of that young kid that does the celebrity readings? The guy with the blonde hair?
It's very unfortunate. I feel as if Tyler.
What's his name?
Tyler. His name's Tyler. I feel as if he kind of gets a bad rap. See, that's the thing.
Are we almost over? Because people are saying, great show tonight.
Like, that's the thing,
Get
because...
out of here. We have 4 minutes.
We have 4 minutes.
We have 4 minutes, yeah.
Fellas.
That's the thing. When you have access, like, even like when I start going out to do reads in public, like, like you do like dinner and a psychic and this and that, I'm going to have to hire somebody independently to book it, because I don't want to have access to anyone that's coming to my show.
Because then they'll think you did
research on them. You do research. Exactly.
Right, yeah, you have my credit card number.
You have my credit card number. You can look it up. No, but there's certain information that spirit will tell me that there's no way that you would know that I know that. How would I know where your uncle is buried? There's no way I would know that.
And I'm even a believer, and I was kind of being like tight-lipped or like a little closed-minded with you just to see what you would like fish out just, with when I was being, because if you're like, oh yeah, because you could ask me something, I go, oh yeah, and give you more info.
Right.
So I was specifically holding back and you were pulling shit out of your hat.
People have to be open. There are some people who are very, skeptic of it because they're scared.
Right.
But a lot of people are afraid of death. Do not fear death. Death is transformation. When people say, "Oh, so and so died," I'm sorry. I understand that you're sad about that. I know, but just trust and believe that you will see that energy again.
So Raphael was saying his departed friend tried to kill herself. She saw the devil. When she died again, it was natural and beautiful. Didn't want to come back. That's some story. That's amazing.
I feel bad for people that do attempt suicide, because it's just a very frustrated soul.
I have a question for you on that. I'm Jewish, so it doesn't affect me, but I think in the Catholic or Christian religion, it's against their religion to kill yourselves, and you're not allowed in heaven if you don't.
That's not true. If you do not complete your soul's mission, everyone is here with a soul mission. Mm-hmm. You are here. You're not just here to party and drink and have sex and get married and all that. No, you're not here just for that. You have a purpose in life that you must complete. You must complete the karma from other past lives that you're bringing over here. That's why we have things like soulmates. That's why we have things like, this instant connection with somebody, deja vu, stuff like that. You have to complete that. If you don't complete it, you're doomed to repeat it in the next life.
Yeah, so Larry's saying, I fear for the ones I leave behind. John Battle is joining us. Hi, John. He's saying hello, ladies.
Oh, John, you're really late. You feel for the ones that you leave behind. What do you mean? If you make sure you take care of the ones that you leave behind. I mean, you're supposed to take care of your soul tribe. There's nothing to be afraid of, and you won't even know. You'll always be able to watch out for them. And
Robin is reminding us that we're going to see her on
Saturday.
Yes. I got my days
Please
mixed up.
buy tickets. $25. Hit me up.
At
Private
Coasters.
Message me. Yes, at
and
Coasters.
Monday, open mic at Coasters. It's a pop-up mic, not every Monday. Come Monday on the 12th, me and Will Romero will be hosting the mic. And share the show. And Mandy?
Friday, the Calamity Jones hour. It's gonna be me and Tugboat Manny hanging.
Awesome.
So,
We had a great time with Tugboat when we did the
He
show.
could put on a show, man.
He was the best MC. He's so sweet and lovely. He's a wonderful person. And yeah, Robin, I can't wait to see you.
So
I
thank
miss
you again, Kristen, for your time and
You're
your
welcome.
knowledge. If anyone wants a private tarot card reading, please hit up the Divine Comedian Tarot.
Yeah, or just
Kristen
message me.
Tinsley.
Yeah, just message me.
Just direct message her.
Oh, she did a
she'll
reading
give you
for me.
some
It was
insight
great.
to your life.
Yeah.
You just have to know the question that you want to
know the question that
ask.
you want to answer.
Robin says Tugboat is her boyfriend.
Oh.
I love Robin. You wouldn't do that to George. You're
That
too
is so
nice a
funny.
person. So.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh my
This
God,
was a long
we
time.
love having you. You'll definitely be back. And
Yeah.
she's a woman of many talents.
I am.
Follow her on
YouTube at the Divine Comedian Tarot, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Chris Nicole Tins Comedy. It just depends on which one of my personalities you want to hit up.
There it is.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.